everybody, welcome to the Ronline Report. Those of you who watched the coverage of the Indy Pro this last weekend in Indianapolis know that the runner-up was a very strong showing for Charles Griffen from Minnesota. Another great, I don't know if that's the Midwest or it's out there somewhere. But it's Charles, you looked amazing. Welcome to Ronline. Thanks for being here today.
Yeah, thank you for having me. Thank you for having me.
So I had forgotten that we did a little quick thing for the web like 2 years ago. But what a story you have. We got to get this story out there because I don't know how many people saw that little thing on that we printed a couple of years ago. So first of all, you grew up in Arizona of all places.
Yep.
The desert. Very active. So it turns out you played football, baseball, and basketball, but you were not big enough. You were not tall enough to play high school football. You were 5'5" in high school.
Yeah, or I could have been even shorter than that.
Did you start high school at like age 8 or something? Why? I don't understand.
It looked like it, you know. I showed my girlfriend some pictures, and she was like, was I malnutrition? She was saying all kind of different stuff. Like, I don't know. I was just a small guy, so it's pretty funny. People from Arizona still call me Baby Charles. No matter I'm walking around 275, 280, they still call me Baby Charles. So that name's going to stick with me.
Well, I got to ask for my own son's sake. My son's like 5'6 and a half, and he's going to be graduating in a couple months. So I want him to have hope. So how much more did you grow after high school?
Like I kept growing. Like out of high school, I kept growing. I graduated in 2000, and I probably kept growing all the way to like 2006, 2007. I was like 5'4", now I'm like 5'9" and some change. So I graduated out of high school, and I just kept growing after high school.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
So let's see, you did track and field, and you were also you lettered in basketball. So,
yeah, I played my freshman year of basketball on the freshman team, and then I was a 3-year letterman on varsity. So my sophomore, junior, senior year, I played point guard for the varsity squad. Yeah.
So I think your football coach was tripping because how can you be too short to play football, but you were that good at basketball?
Yeah, you know, back in the day, you know, it was nothing but big running backs. And now the game has evolved and changed. Now, if you got some wheels and you got some speed, then, you know, they give you your time. And I was a little knucklehead. I didn't really want to lift weights and do all that to really benefit from everything. So I didn't, you know, I really didn't do what I should have did to probably really try to get on that field, you know.
Yeah. So I recall you said that you were kind of naturally muscular. You know, if it ran on one side of your family or another. So people were asking you if you were training long before you were, right?
Yeah, I was always at the deep voice. I was walking around 7, 8, 9 years old with a deep voice, and everybody thought my mom was having me lift weights. And you have your son lifting already? No, so we just some genetic freaks. My whole side, both sides of my family, my mom's side, my dad's side, we're just like, we got some great genetics in the family, very good genetics.
Okay. So why did you start lifting weights? When was that and why?
So my younger brother got a scholarship to USC to play football. And I was like, I can't be the older brother that's over here being all puny, coming to South California to watch him play football, Southern California to watch him play football. Yeah. So I got myself back in the gym, started lifting weights, and I was like, you know what, I'm going to try to do some arena football. And I even tried out for arena football, but the arena football don't have running backs. They have wide receivers, and they have fullbacks / linebackers, and I wasn't big enough to do that, so I made the first cut, and then after the first cut, I didn't make the second cut because they was out there sticking those routes, those wide receivers, and I was just a running back. And I tried to do the wide receiver thing, and I couldn't do it, and I just kept lifting weights after that. Yeah.
Because in high school, were you just doing the usual high school thing of bench presses and curls?
Exactly. That's all I was doing. I was only worried about the bench press and the arms. I didn't know what leg day was.
Nobody. You know, who did back then? Who did?
Exactly.
Right, so 24 years old is when you started training more like a bodybuilder. You were training everything.
I was training. Yeah, I wouldn't say like a bodybuilder. Still, I was just training. Yeah, I was just training in the gym, just basically moving around some weights, and wasn't real serious about it. I used to lift during winter time, and in summertime I used to just go party and leave the gym alone. Then I had to start all over again when winter time comes. So I was never serious with the lifting weights like that. I was never consistent with it.
So was the big turning point for you when your mom passed away in 2012? Is that when everything changed for you?
That's when everything changed, because when she passed, you know, I'm a big mama's boy, man. I used to talk to my mom 15, 20 times a day. So when she passed, I didn't get to see her for a whole year. Then she came out here and visited me and my brother. And when she passed away out here. So I got to spend the last 6 days with her. So she could have passed away when she was back home in Arizona, but she was out here visiting us, and she passed away at our house where me and my brother lived at. And that was basically like, at that point, I just fell off the deep end, you know?
Yeah.
A lot of drugs, a lot of alcohol. I dealt with my mom's passing with clouding my brain with alcohol and drugs. I was out here not really caring about life, riding my motorcycle 120, 130 miles per hour with alcohol in my system, on drugs, and I just wasn't caring. And, you know, a year later, so she passed October 2012.
Yeah.
January 2014, February 2014 was when I woke up like, I need to change my ways. Like, when my mom was here, I was doing this nonsense, keeping my mom up. She wasn't able to sleep at night because she doesn't know what I'm getting into. Mm-hmm. And I said, you know what? Everybody wants me to compete. Let me try to get ready for my first show. So I started getting ready for my first show, February 2014. And wow. I was depressed from my mom passed from October 2012 until June 2014 when I did my first bodybuilding show, Mr. Minnesota. And I won the overall, I won the light heavyweight division. I had goosebumps that whole day. It felt like my mom was there. My mom was like, this is what you're supposed to be doing. Mm-hmm. Enjoy your life, enjoy everything, and this is what you're supposed to be doing. I quit my office job, started personal training, and went 100% bodybuilding. And here I am right here, man, you know, loving every day I'm loving every day, man. You know, it's just like, she's with me. I know she's with me. I know she's like, I know you can do it. You know what I mean? So yeah. It's a lovely thing, man. It's a lovely thing.
Yeah, because, you know, a lot of us lost parents when we were young. You know, Kevin and I talk about it on his show all the time because we both lost our dads really young. And, you know, they never got to see us do anything, really. So, yeah. I mean, it's good that you have that faith that you do know and believe that your mom has been able to see all the success and, you know, the way you turned your life around.
Yeah, because, you know, if she was here, it's sad to say, if she was here, I would probably be doing the same nonsense I was doing. Kind of like I was angry with God, angry with the this and that, but it's kind of like as I started dealing with it, this and that, I kind of feel like my mom's life, my mom gave her life to give me life, and here I am receiving messages about I'm inspiring this person, I'm pushing this person, I'm doing this. You know, it's just like I never inspired people to do anything but party and do drugs, and now I'm inspiring them to lose weight, get in the gym. You know, I'm getting messages daily, people walking up to me shaking like, man, I'm just a pro bodybuilder, Charles Griffen, but if I could touch your life in a positive way, it's a beautiful thing. I'm winning in life, man. I'm winning in life.
Yeah, I mean, I hate to go back to the old days stories, but it's inspirational to see someone turn things around the way you did. You told me a story a couple years ago about the motorcycle antics.
Yeah.
Leaving a bachelor party on your motorcycle, intoxicated, 150 miles an hour.
Got the ghetto bird. A helicopter came
Yeah, a helicopter came with the spotlight on you. And,
yes.
To go from something like that to becoming a role model and successful professional athlete.
It's a lovely thing.
It should show anybody. You must get a lot of messages from people.
Yeah, I couldn't guess it. I wouldn't have, if somebody would have told me I would have been doing this right now, I'd have told them you're lying. That's not going to happen. You know what I mean? Like, I don't believe you. You know what I mean?
So 2014, your first show was a stage show in Minnesota.
Yep.
Now, you're from Minnetonka, is that right?
Yeah, I'm living in Minnetonka. Yep.
Now, did you watch the movie Purple Rain back in the day?
Yes, I did. Yes, I did.
You're kind of young. I don't know if you even remember that movie, but
Yep.
Was that the lake that Apollonia went buck naked and ran into? But then he told her it wasn't the right lake.
Yes. Yep.
That's all I know about Minnesota, man. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Okay, so your first show, 190 pounds. Not bad, but my goodness. I want to throw up a picture. Nate, this is where I want you to put the picture up. You got a progression picture you posted from June of 2014 at that show at 190, and then off-season, right before you must have started prep for this, December 2017, 270.
Yeah.
80-pound difference in,
Yeah.
that's 3.5 years, right?
Yep.
So,
Yep.
clearly,
Yep.
you were meant to do this, Charles. This is what you're supposed to be doing. So let's go back. You know, when you first competed, did you have any idea what you were doing? Did anybody help you with the diet, the posing, or were you sort of just winging it?
I was working with a coach in Minnesota. He was a pro bodybuilder, and I just saw a big black guy. I'm like, I want to look like that, and I was starting to work with him, and you know, I just got a certain vibe about this person where I felt like I didn't want to be around that type of vibe. So what I did was I did my own prep. I got introduced to Tim Johnson, and he was like, the fitness world in Minnesota is so small. You just left this coach, so I wouldn't want to take you on because that's like a conflict of interest and stuff. He doesn't want to do that. So he was like, if you need any help, I'll be here to help you out, but I can't coach you right now. So I basically did my own prep to the last week or two. He helped me bring it in the last week or two, and I really didn't know what I was doing, really didn't know how to pose. I didn't know how to do that. I just went out there and just had fun, and man, I won the overall, you know. So.
And you went to 2 national shows that year. You did what was it, Nationals and North American? So North American would have come first.
I placed 8th, and then I dropped down and I placed like 12th or 13th place at Miami that year, and I was a light heavyweight.
Right.
And wasn't sure if this was something I was supposed to do, and I was just like, I'm gonna go back into the lab and I'm gonna start working on my posing, start working on this, really start getting in the gym. And I found this gym called Los Campeos Gym here. I walked into this place, I'm like, there's other monsters walking around. I was walking around like LA Fitness, I'm the biggest guy, this and that. I came in this gym, I'm like, this is where I belong, and my game just elevated up. I left the light heavyweight division, jumped up to the heavyweight class at USA's, and I placed 3rd next to Cody Montgomery and Gerald Washington. Yeah. Gerald Washington got his pro card the next show at North Americans, and then I turned pro at Miami Nationals 2015, taking a heavyweight class.
And you lost your overall to some guy named Sergio Oliva Jr. He's not that bad.
Yeah. I'm not gonna talk too much junk and all like that, but you know, I don't know. I say that overall was mine, but you know, I'm not gonna say anything. But I'm gonna get my rematch against Sergio. I can't wait till I get my rematch against him.
I talked to so many guys about this. I mean, you have to believe you're the best, or else why are you doing this?
Exactly.
Because it's not a team sport. Every contest you ever enter, there's only going to be one winner.
That's all.
So you're going to go in training to be 8th place or 4th place?
I'm training for 1st place. That's what I'm trying to do, you know.
So, and there are different physiques. Like this past weekend, you know, you and Kuklo, 2 very different physiques.
Yeah.
Both great in their own way. I think would you agree with me, the thing he really had you on was condition at that show?
Yeah, you know, what I see that he had over me was, honestly, when we turned to the backside, he had a little crisper glutes.
Yeah.
He had a little crisper glutes than mine. But I know, like, what I looked like Thursday and Friday, if I'd have brung that package to that stage, there was no way he would have been able to beat me. And, you know, Kuklo's a great bodybuilder. I'm not taking anything from him. Yeah. But I still honestly believe what I brought was good enough. And I'm not going to lie, I was very disappointed because it seems like everybody keeps saying, your time is coming, your time is coming. I'm knocking on that door. My knuckles is getting bloody. I don't care. I'm keep knocking. And it just feels like I'm always just barely missing it, you know. And like I said, like, I'm not taking anything away from what Kuklo did, or I'm not trying to go against what the judges said. I'm solely looking back at the video and the pictures, and I feel like I did enough to win that show, but judges didn't give it to me, so back to the lab I go, and, you know, that's why I had to team up with a different coach to bring me how I was looking on Thursday and Friday. So all the judges always said I need to nail the condition. I need to come in a little drier and a little crisper. If I'd have did that, it would have been lights out. So I had to get with a coach that's worked with people with my type of bodies, and where I could just be on autopilot, where I could just do my stuff and do what he tells me to do and don't second guess anything that's going on.
So before we talk about who that is, so what happened between Thursday and Friday where you were looking the way you wanted to look?
Man,
Saturday.
I honestly, I don't know. Like, this show right here was my mental. I was so calm. I was so ready. I was so confident because the way I was looking Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, I was like, wow. my body's evolved, and I've never looked like this before. And then when I came to Showtime on Saturday, it just wasn't like how it was the 3 days prior. And it was just like a total letdown. It was a total letdown because in my mind, I was like, get this show done. I got 12 weeks to build, and then another 12 weeks to get ready for Olympia. That was my game plan. That was my game plan.
So let's back up to the weight progression. You turned pro at 217.
Yeah.
And we talked about before that you had a little debate right after the show as to what to do, because 212 was only 5 pounds away.
Yep.
But you're 5'9.5", and these guys are, I look tall stand next to some of these guys.
Exactly.
5'3", 5'4", 5'5" tops on the better 212 guys. So how long did it take you to decide, I'll just keep growing and be open? Because you would just put 25 pounds on from 2014 to 2015 anyway.
Yeah, that we went when we got back into town that same week. We got back into town after the Miami. I sat down with my coach at the time was Tim Johnson, and we sat down. He's like, "You're going to hate me for the rest of your career if we do the 212, because you're going to have to lift a certain way. You're not going to be able to do this. You're not going to be able to do that, or else your body's ready to grow. You could grow, lift heavy weights, eat all the food." And I looked at him. I told him, I got the waiter, I need a slab of 8 pancakes, this and that, because we're about to grow. We're going to the open class, and that was the game plan. We just went into the open class.
So your first pro show was
the
Ferrigno, so late 2016.
Yeah.
So what were you up to there, like 235 in that range?
We had hit a little trouble right there. Like my weight just started pumping. I was looking good at like that 235 era, 228, 229, and then my weight just started pumping, and we couldn't stop it. And actually, people won't believe it, I was 219 pounds.
No, I believe it. I mean, sometimes you drop weights. It makes no sense, right? You don't know what's happening.
It played to my advantage because I was not going to outsize anybody on that stage, but the way my illusions and my muscle bellies are, me being shredded to the bone just made everything pop, and I looked like I was 230-something on stage, so it worked to my advantage right there.
Yeah, top 5, your first pro show.
Yep.
Was that Nathan who won that year?
Nathan won that year, then it went Justin Compton, and then it went the guy that makes his glutes move.
Yeah, I know what you mean. Lucas Oslato.
Yeah, then Michael Lockett took 4th, and I was right there behind Michael Lockett. And I beat Lockett at that show, too. I'm calling it out.
I like Lockett's physique a lot.
Yeah.
I hope he's not going to be mad for me saying this, but that right leg just really bothers me.
Yeah. Man, like, out of all the pros I met, though, I'm not going to lie, Michael Lockett is a cool brother, man. He's a real cool dude. And we had that. It was my pro debut. I was nervous, and talking to him, he was just a cool dude, just like to laugh and like to have a good time. He's a good brother.
And I've never seen him look like he needed more than maybe a week, 10 days to step on stage, ever.
That guy, he's a freaky roundness, freaky dense muscles, yeah.
So that was your first year as a pro. 2017, Chicago. So which came first, California Pro? Was that the first?
I did the Cal Pro. I placed 3rd at the Cal Pro. And all the judges said there, too, I needed to come in a little more crisper. I had a little water, a little film on me. You need to come in. And Sandy said, go do the Muscle Mayhem. You could win that Muscle Mayhem unless somebody like Phil Heath or somebody shows up to do that show. She said that could be your show. And it's always the judges, I need to nail the condition. I had a little more film on me. And I went to Muscle Mayhem, and I went against Victor Martinez. Yeah.
Which I think he had just come back from Kuwait, too.
Yeah, I took 2nd place to Victor. Like, I'm not, like I said, I'm not a conflict type of guy that likes to get stuff roared up and talking junk, but I just believe in myself, and I believe in what I did. If his name was John Smith, I would have been at that Olympia last year.
Wow. He's got a hell of a physique. I mean, some of these shows, and then Chicago Pro, 4th place. So it was a pretty good year for you. I mean, you've never been out of the top 5.
Yeah, at the Chicago Pro, I was just mad. That was my first time doing that many shows, and my body was just tired there. And like I said, we just missed it again there. We just kept missing it again there. So, yeah.
But I know you're disappointed, but geez, 5th place, 3rd place, 4th place, 2nd place. You just got 2nd again. I mean, I know it feels like you're just getting denied over and over again, but it also shows you're consistent.
Yeah.
You know, some guys get like second or third once, and that's it. They never get top 5 again.
Yeah.
They just luck out and look good at one show or something. And
yeah,
you know, it is just condition issue. You don't have weak. You know, most guys have like back needs thickness, something. Your back's great, arms, legs are spectacular. You know, no weaknesses really. It's just condition.
Yeah.
So tell me about the new coach and how he's going to help you hopefully dial into that ridiculous condition.
You know, over before this last off season was over with, I was thinking about switching up to a different coach, but I'm a loyal person. I don't like coach hopping. My coach has been there for me from the get-go. I considered him like family, so I want to give him another shot. And then we just missed it again, and it's like he don't know what went on, why it happened, and he's just reaching for different stuff, saying maybe it's this, maybe it's that. It's like, no, it's none of that stuff. So it's like if I keep thinking with the loyalty side of my heart, I'm going to stay with him. I got to think with this side of the heart, meaning like what's best for Charles, what is going to get Charles from here to here, and that need to happen. I need to change coaches. So now I'm rolling with Matt Jensen.
Okay.
I'm rolling with Matt Jensen. You know, I've been talking to him. We've talked. He's messaged me, showed me love, this and that, and I just feel like with what he knows and what he does in the sport, I feel like all I got to do is read what he tells me to do, and I can just go balls to the wall and don't have to worry about anything going on. You know, he's proven to know what he does, and he knows what he knows. So I'm like ecstatic. I'm super excited to be working with him and, you know, get ready for whatever show we got in the works.
Because at your show, the Indy, Ian Valliere from Canada, he works with Matt too.
Yeah.
And Ian's, you know, I never thought Ian was going to be I know that sounds terrible. I never thought he was going to be like one of the great guys. I thought he was just going to, he's okay, he's good. He's got a pretty good physique. It's not like, wow, oh my God. But he stepped out there and I was like, wow, I'm glad I got him on the show last week because he surprised a lot of people, and he works with Matt. So 230,
and he jumped up to 240. How he's jumped up 20 months off. He looked great. He looked great. Cool guy.
Condition's tricky. I mean, explain to people how hard it is to really nail that, because I don't think the average person who's never competed at that level understands trying to hold on to the amount of mass that you carry while getting the abs in. That's easy. It's not, anybody can get that. That's like 6 weeks of dieting. But to get the glutes and the hams crispy, that's a whole other level. What does it take to get down there?
Man, what it takes is, first off, you know, hard work and consistency and to follow the plan, you know. And it takes you working with somebody that really knows what's going on with your body. Like I did 9 shows with my coach. I couldn't got where I'm at without him. He's a great guy. Yeah. I'm not knocking anything he's done because me and him made it to this point. But it's at a certain level where he just can't get me there no more. And it's these coaches, the Chris Technician, Matt Jensen, who else? You got
Chad, you got Hani, you got George Farah.
Top coaches. They work with top athletes like myself, bodybuilders like myself that know the game and know what it takes. And I just feel like my coach got me as far as he could get me. Now it's time to graduate from this bachelor's to my master's, and that master's is Matt Jensen. You know what I mean? That's what it is. So I feel like he knows what he's doing, and he got the recipe. Like when I talk to him, he's like, I'm not going to sit here and say like, I got to do so much for you, this and that. He says, you're there. You're already there. I just got to keep you there and bring you in there. He says, so I don't got to do a lot. He's like, you got all the tools, this and that. And he kept messaging me like, I'm very excited to help you out and get working. So I'm just ecstatic, man. I'm like, it's on now. So, you know, the game's going to be elevated now.
All right. So prep for you. You know, how hard is it for you to lean out? Some people have to do tons and tons of cardio, go like 0 carbs. What about you, Charles?
It's so easy for me to lean out. I didn't go no more than 300 carbs while I was prepping. I did 5 days of cardio at 30-minute sessions. It's very easy for me. Like, and I had sleep apnea. And for all these other shows, all these other preps, I had sleep apnea. This is the first prep where I have my CPAP machine, this and that. I'm like, damn, I'm not walking around sleeping on the couches out here in the gym. I'm walking around energized. I'm like, am I going hard enough? Am I doing something right? Everything's working. I'm getting shredded, this and that. So, man, it's very easy for me to get into shape. It's not hard at all. So I love the process, man. I love the grind of it. I love this. I love everything about it.
Cool. So, Charles, your nickname is The Definition, correct?
Yes.
Who gave you this nickname and why?
You know, we were just thinking of it because everybody has some nicknames, and I just came up with it. Something that rhymes with Griffin, Definition, Griffin. And like I'm always, you know, I got real good definition, real good, you know, cuts in the muscles, this and that. So I thought I felt it was right. And definition means the meaning of something, this and that. And I had a meaning for life and bodybuilding after the passing of my mother. So it just seemed like all the stars lined up, and that's why I came up with that nickname.
Yeah. Your mom's name was Sabrina?
Sabrina Ann Scott, yes.
Sabrina Ann Scott. Yeah, I mean, that was cool. On your Facebook, you got some pictures of her and pictures of the gravesite, so it's good to see a son paying tribute to his mom like that. What else do I want to talk about? Training style. You know, everyone's got their own style. How would you describe your training style?
Controlled and heavy. Okay. I always like to control my weight. The negatives, taking my time with the negatives. I'm not just banging stuff out. Slow and controlled, making sure I'm squeezing, feeling the contractions. I feel every rep, feel every set. I like to lift heavy and go hard, but I'm making sure I'm in control of the weight at all times. Yeah. Not just bouncing stuff or moving stuff. I'm very mind and muscle connection. I used to watch a lot of Kai Green, how he used to lift, and he preaches big on that mind and muscle connection and, you know, thinking about what you're doing instead of just moving the weight around. Yeah.
You know, and do you believe that's kept you a little safer?
Yes, sir.
Tearing things and all that too?
Yeah, that's exactly.
So, yeah, exactly. I mean, I see these guys like Ronnie and Branch, and, you know, obviously what they do works for them, but I cringe to see these kids on Instagram doing the same thing because, you know, 180-pound kid trying to pull a 600-pound deadlift, you know, with his lower back going like this.
Yeah.
Recipe for disaster. So how about in terms of body parts? I know your arms have always...
1 second. I'm about to move into this room because she has to do a massage real quick.
Oh, okay.
1 second.
Not that I wouldn't watch, but okay.
Hey, can you turn the music down in here?
See,
all right, I'm ready now.
See, people, this is real live stuff here. So, yeah, I know from the past talking to you, your arms grew pretty easily. Your back was always a good body part. What's been the biggest challenges for you, and what were sort of the things you figured out on how to make them grow?
You know, I barely was able to train my arms this past off season because of my arms had always overpowered my shoulders, and I had weak shoulders and weak legs starting out bodybuilding. So what I had to do was I had to put the arm training aside, let my shoulders and legs catch up, and then I started training the arms. So what I started out doing, I was hitting quads and legs 3 times a week, hitting shoulders 3 times a week until those grow. And then finally my coach was like, your shoulders are nasty now. It's time to do arms. So now I got some new arm growth this year because I was able to start training arms and everything like that. So it was great. So
now I can tell by looking at them, I'm pretty good at spotting like weird things. And there's nothing weird about your arms. The shape is the way a muscle is supposed to be shaped.
Yeah.
There's no odd bulges or anything. I'm saying that they're not full of oil like some guys are.
No, it's all loyal over here. It's all loyal over here.
For people that care about this kind of thing, what's the biggest they've taped out at?
What was that?
How big have your arms taped out at your largest, like at 270?
At 270, they were right at, where they at? Were they at 22s? I think they were just right about 22s, a little over 22s.
Okay, yeah. So that tells me a lot of these guys saying they have 22-inch arms are full of shit. Because
they're full of shit.
And your arms at 22 in the off season, probably like 21 on stage.
Yeah, like 21s on stage. Yeah.
Okay, then all you guys telling me you got 23-inch arms, you're lying out your ass. I'm sorry.
Oh yeah, they're lying.
Okay.
Yeah.
How about in terms of nutrition? What are some things that you found out worked really well for you, and what types of things did not work well for you?
Funny story, like carbs. I know my body loves carbs. So when I first started working, my coach, he was telling me eat a cup of rice with each meal. First 3 meals, a cup of rice. So I got a cup of dry rice and cooked the rice, and I thought that's what I was supposed to eat. So actually, I was eating 2 to 3 cups of rice with my first 3 meals, and he was like, "Well, we found out your body loves carbs." So I know my body feeds off carbs. So, you know, nutrition. I just eat a lot of protein. I just like to eat food. You know, when I got done with my pro debut, the Ferrigno, I was thinking about doing the Arnold. And I sent my invitation in with the Arnold, so after the Ferrigno, I had to keep it real clean on the eating food because I didn't want to blow up this and that. And I seen how my body grew off clean food. So I didn't get into the Arnold, but it was a good experiment to see that me eating clean, how my body grew. So every off season after that, I'm eating 5 clean meals, a cheat meal every day. That's how I do in the off season. 5 clean meals. I get 1 or 2 cheat meals a day, and it just keeps everything in check. I'm not blowing out my gut, not blowing out my waist, and it's loyal gains, not just fat gains. Like, I'm not gonna get to 270 and chop it down on 215 or 220. You know what I mean? So, you know, I found out like eating clean foods on the off season is what you really grow. Is, you know, that's quality food is the way you grow. You know.
I mean, some people tell me they have a cheat meal, and I found out sushi. I'm like, please, that's not a cheat meal.
That's not a cheat meal.
What's a cheat meal for you?
5 Guys, you know, 5 Guys, a big double bacon, greasy cheeseburger, you know what I mean? You know, I'm eating everything. I just, whatever comes to mind, I'm just eating. And it was kind of funny, you know, another thing I added in at each of my nights was I used to drink Fairlife milk. Fairlife chocolate milk thing. So it's 980 calories, 91 carbs, 91 protein. I have one of those every night of my off season. Every night of the off season, I drink one of those. So
how much liquid is in that thing to give it almost 1,000 calories?
It's like 750 milliliters. It's not quite a gallon.
Wow.
It's not quite a gallon, but I drink one of those every night on the off season, and you know, I feel like that's what I do. I go to the store, buy 7 of them for the whole week. Yeah.
You drink that all at once?
Drink it all at once. That's my last meal. So my last meal is usually egg whites, but this time on the off season, I drink a whole Fairlife milk every single night. That's what I do. So
impressive.
Yeah. It's real good too, the chocolate milk. So it's real good.
Okay. Charles, what is your favorite part about bodybuilding, and what's the part you wish was different?
My favorite part about bodybuilding is to see what, you know, just to get my body to do some stuff that I never knew what it could do. It's just like, you know, the fun part is when you get to that 6 weeks of bodybuilding, your body goes through these weird changes and you just start seeing it changes daily. I just love everything about bodybuilding, man. I had missed that competitiveness back in high school and this and that when I didn't use my full ability. So this bodybuilding gave me that competitor's edge again, got me back on the stage competing, and I just love everything about the bodybuilding, man. It's like, I don't know, I really feel like I was meant to do this right here. I was meant to do bodybuilding because not one day do I feel like not eating this food or do I not feel like hitting these weights, this and that, because I know what it's going to do for me. And, you know, like I said, I'm sending messages I get on a daily basis. It's just inspiring, man. So I'm motivating them, but they don't know how they motivated me when I read those type of messages. It just gives me goosebumps and it helps me keep pushing and doing that 110% when I'm low on energy, I'm low on this, but this person's looking up for me and he just doesn't know. He just pushed me like 10% more by sending me that message, you know what I mean? So it's just a lovely thing. I love everything about the grind, man. I just love it.
So, I mean, I don't think people realize that you're pretty new to this really still. I mean,
yeah.
4 years ago, I mean, I don't know what month
it's not even 4 years. June will be 4 years. So
it hasn't even been 4 years since your first show when you were not even top of the light heavyweights at that point.
Yeah.
And here you are, you know, pushing Steve Kuklo. He's a real veteran.
Yeah.
Pushing him hard for the win.
Yeah.
If this is how far you've been able to come in, you know, 2 seasons as a pro, which I think you turned pro on like your 4th or 5th show.
Yeah, 4th show, 18 months.
Yeah, I mean, how far do you think you can take this? What do you think your ultimate potential is? What do you want to improve on? Where do you see your physique, say, in another 2 or 3 years when it's starting to really hit its
I see myself as a top 5 Olympian, you know. I see myself as top 5 Olympian. You know, I'm doing this because I feel like I can beat the best. You know what I mean? Why am I doing all this? Why am I putting myself through this if I don't believe in myself to step on that stage and overtake a Phil Heath or overtake a Rami or overdo this? I see myself doing utmost that my body's allowed me to do. You know what I mean? I feel like with this short of time, how I've taken off, I feel, you know, you give me a couple more years and a couple more years under like a Matt Jensen, this and that, the stuff I can learn, the new training tips, the new diet tips. I feel like my body's gonna go blow up even more. You know what I mean? So I'm about to buckle the seatbelt. I'm in for the ride. Let's take it to the top. So that's how I feel about it. Yeah.
I mean, for anyone who's anyone who might have rolled their eyes at what you just said, let me remind you something. Every time I interview Ronnie, he talks about how the year before he won Mr. Olympia, he was 8th place. Nobody was talking about Ronnie Coleman ever being a Mr. Olympia. Nobody. He never even dreamed that it was possible. And then, you know, Flex introduced him to Chad Nichols. He made some changes with physique, and boom, next year he won first of 8 Olympias in a row. So,
yeah,
you know, you have all the tools. You have the structure, the shape. You know, the only thing missing on you is condition. I think condition's the easiest fix of all, because that's something that can just be figured out. If you had like a lagging body part, maybe you'll bring it up, maybe you won't. It's not a sure thing. But condition, I don't think there's anyone with condition issues that it's impossible for them to ever fix them. I think everybody can do that.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
I'm interested to see what Matt's going to do with you. Very interested.
Yeah, I'm interested. I'm like super happy. Like he texts me just out of nowhere, like, buddy, I'm super excited to work with you. And I send him the emojis with the big smile, like I'm walking around the gym like this right now. I'm like, you know, it's on, like it's on. So, you know, what we're gonna do is like I was gonna do the Cal Pro.
Yeah.
But, you know, I want to do the New York first, but I got to start. I don't want to keep doing show after show after show. I want to do a show and win this show. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to knock it back a notch and work with Matt, and then we're going to get ready, and I'm coming at the Toronto Pro.
Okay.
So that's what we're going to do. So we got 9 weeks to get ready for the Toronto Pro, for me and Matt Jensen to get together and, you know, put what we got together and make the magic happen. So I'm excited to start to get working with him. So, yeah, it's on.
Now, it annoys me sometimes when guys qualify for the Olympia and don't do it. So, let's say you win Toronto, qualify, we're going to see you in Vegas at the Olympia.
You're going to see me in Vegas at Olympia. A lot of guys get points, and they get qualified by points. I'm not going. I got to win with a show. I'm not getting in a point. I competed on that stage. I earned those points, so if I get in with points, I'm getting in. I barely missed it by like one person last year. Yeah. Man, I would have been super excited to get on the Olympia stage by points. I don't care, points or not. If I get that chance to stand on the Olympia stage, that's where I'm going. That's the ultimate goal, is to stand on that Olympia stage. So I think with Matt Jensen, we could make something happen. So I'm pretty excited.
I mean, with the progress you've already made, how well you've already done, you know, the sky's the limit. You saw I put you on my Instagram because I was like, I didn't have you on my radar. I had you as one of those guys like, he's pretty good. But, you know, nothing beyond that. But this show, I was like, wow. Why didn't I really pay more attention to this guy? This guy.
That's why I shot you a message, man. I heard some of the stuff you're saying. You posted my picture and stuff like that, man. You know, with your word around the bodybuilding world, you know, everybody knows about you. So for you to put my name out there like that and have some good things to say, that's why I had to reach out to you and say, you know, I appreciate everything you said, man. You know, I'm humbled by some of the stuff you said. So
thank you.
Yeah. It was all love hearing you say that about me. So
I'm brutally honest. I never bother praising anybody unless I really feel it's warranted.
Yeah.
If I think somebody sucks, I just keep quiet. I don't say it.
Yeah.
That's how my mama raised me. So if you don't got nothing nice to say, shut up.
And that's the thing, you know, yeah, man, I'm happy, man. I'm just happy to get it going on. You know, I was a little upset this weekend over this thing, but like I said, if you show me a good loser, I'll show you a loser. You know what I mean? I felt like I should have won the show, and I didn't get the place, and I felt like I should have got. I'm not going against what the judges say. Kluko's a great guy. I was a fan. I was a fanboy. When I see Kluko, can we take a picture together? Can we do this together? Because that's Kluko. His name's been around, so I'm not knocking nobody, but I just felt like what I did was that, but it wasn't quite there. So now we just got to keep knocking at the door, and maybe this door is going to open up sooner or later for me. So,
you know, sometimes losing can be the best thing that happens to you.
Yeah, lights that fire a little more hot. Yeah,
it's going to drive you like, you know, yeah. Had you won, it would have been great. You would have enjoyed it, but you know.
These glutes are on fire right now. That little fire underneath me, the glutes is on fire right now.
I expect you to look so much better in Toronto. I know you're going to.
It's on.
I can hear it in your voice. I can see it in your eyes. You're ready to just tear shit up now.
Yes, sir.
Cool. Well, that is all I had for you today, Charles. I very much appreciate your time. Great to see this transformation of you over the past couple of years. You know, you're working hard. Great genetics and hard work are a very tough combination to beat. You're just going to get harder and harder for anybody to beat as time goes by. That's the way it should be. Yeah.
Thank you, my man.
I want to thank everyone for watching the Ronline Report. Please subscribe to the MD YouTube. Click on the little bell thing so you get notifications. And that is all. Charles, wishing you the best of luck, sir.
Yeah, we out here. All right, brother. Thank you, Ron.
Talk to you later.
Bye-bye, brother. Bye-bye.